Hi everyone, I thought I would record a little update post-surgery. Now this video is part of a series that I've been doing. If you haven't seen the last two videos I've made, please go check it out. This video is just a little update from my thyroid surgery that I had back in June. A month after my surgery, I did go see my regular GP for some blood tests and to make sure I am on the right levels of levothyroxine, and surprisingly I was. They put me on 100 micrograms of levothyroxine when I was in hospital, like as soon as I had my thyroid out. So surprisingly they didn't change my levels whatsoever. I personally thought they would because I was just feeling extremely tired and I was having a lot of fatigue for the first month of recovery. But I do believe that was just from having surgery and having to get back into my normal routine. I have a very active job and an active lifestyle, so as soon as I was back to work normally, I was struggling with quite a lot of fatigue. So I think that was just because I had that 2 weeks off for my surgery and then going back to work, try and get back to normal. I think that's where the fatigue just came from. After that, I actually felt perfectly fine. Like I no longer had fatigue. Probably about a month after my surgery, I was no longer struggling with fatigue. When I went back to work, I honestly was having a nap every time I got home because I was just exhausted. And I only worked about 5 hours for that first week. But it's just a sign of my body needing to recover. So luckily, a month after, I was perfectly fine, no longer getting fatigue. I no longer had any sort of symptoms of hyperthyroid or hypothyroid. So I just felt normal. It's really weird because, for the past 4 or 5 years, I've been just constantly up and down, not feeling correct, not feeling right. And it's just weird to go from that to then just feeling fine again. It's just like, what? But, it's something I'm very happy with. My calcium levels were also checked while I was at the GP and they were unfortunately still quite low. So I have been on calcium supplements ever since my surgery. It's just 1 tablet a day. It's chewable. It doesn't taste very nice, but what can you do? It's just one of those things, really, isn't it? So that was that. I am recording on the 29th of August, so it has been over 2 months since my surgery. I did have my 2-month post-surgery checkup with my actual surgeon who did the whole situation. I had that appointment last week sometime. He checked me over, he said it's all looking good, my scar would hopefully fade mostly by next summer, so hopefully, it'll be smaller. I'll give you a close-up in just a few minutes. He said my thyroxine levels were a little bit too high, so the plan is now I take 100 micrograms of levothyroxine for 5 days a week, and then for the other 2 days I go down to 75 micrograms. That's just to try get, the normal, hopefully normal levels of levothyroxine through my body. He also did mention that my calcium levels are looking better than they were. So now I am doing calcium tablet one day and then have the next day off, then have a calcium tablet and then have the next day off for a week. And then the next week I'm doing calcium tablet one day, have 2 days off, calcium tablet the next day, have 2 days off again for the second week. And then the third week, no calcium tablets whatsoever. And then another blood test within a month. So yeah, there's my update. There's how all my levels are going. Obviously, this whole thing might not happen to other people. I know somebody whose calcium levels were just perfectly fine. I know somebody who was up and down with their medication for about a year until they got it perfectly right. And you never know, that could happen to me. Like, I could still be going lower and lower and lower until I get the perfect normal in range levels. Here we go, a nice close up yeah, it's actually looking nice and neat, isn't it? I am actually not that bothered about it anymore, to be fair. Nice and tidy. Obviously it doesn't hurt anymore. Sometimes it is a bit sensitive over here. Not sure why, but it's just the skin below. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Clearly it is going to fade in time, like he says. This one over here was where my drain was, and it's not as red as the normal scar. So clearly my normal scar is going to look like this soon. Doesn't really have much of a feel to it. I can feel a little bit of a bump, but this one's more of a prevalent bump because of the scar tissue. But that's how we're looking. We're looking nice and dandy. And honestly, it doesn't even bother me that it's there anymore. Like, I don't really pay attention to it. Like, it's just there. It's just a part of me now. I'm not that bothered that it's there. So it's just one of those things. I would much rather have my health in check and have a little scar. You know, I'm not that bothered about a little scar being there. I'm 23 years old at the time of this recording. I've been diagnosed since I was 18 with Graves' disease. I'm much happier now that my thyroid's gone and it's out. I would rather have this scar than to continue on carbimazole and be all over the place. It's no thank you. No thank you, stay over there. So yeah, there's my update. 2 months update. I am very happy. I do want to say I very much appreciate all the lovely comments on the last video. Surprisingly, someone actually did reach out to me through Instagram and ask me loads of questions about it, because that person was like struggling on deciding whether to have surgery or not. They're perfectly fine now. They did go through surgery and they're moving on with their life, and I'm very happy for them. It was just a big shock to know that other people are asking me for help, and it just surprised me that my own videos actually did help someone. So it was just shocking. But if anyone else does have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You know, I'm on Instagram at What's Lauren, the same as my YouTube channel. If you don't have Instagram, just leave some questions in the comments. That's perfectly fine. So yeah, that's my little update. Just 2 months update. And I'm feeling great. Thank you for watching. I hope you are all well, and I will see you for the next update possibly. Bye! After that, I actually